What's good, everyone? It's Ballz. Alright, so the past couple videos we've shown what we've picked up this year and what we've added to our collection basically. Now it's time to get to what's going on this year. And so earlier this year we did have our first clutch of the year, which was somewhat of a quick, not so quick, Dinker project that I had. I picked up an animal that somebody had abandoned in somebody's house. One of my old teachers actually hit me up and told me, hey, my son is fixing this house. There's somebody left behind a snake, and I know you work with snakes, so if you want, if you can you come pick up this animal just so he can finish his job? He doesn't really mess with snakes. So I was like, alright, cool. Give me his number. What happened, I hit him up and I went over to the house and he didn't have any information. He didn't know what it was. He didn't know how old it was, nothing. He said he hasn't fed it. It's been there for at least 3 months. And so he told me the story that he knew. He said the only thing he understood was it's a ghost something combo, whatever. All he knew was it was a ball python. So I looked at it. It's in a front opening cage. And he said, look, if you can go in there and grab it, it's yours. I'm going to get rid of the tank. I told him I didn't need it. I'm going to get rid of the tank, but if you can go in there and grab it, it's yours. So I go in there and I look around and it's under the hide. I grab it, boom, walk out, look at it, make sure it's okay, and leave. So I bring it home, I quarantine it, I have it set up and make sure that everything is okay, and then start feeding it, and she's crazy. I sext her, turns out it's a female, and she must have been at least 2 years old. She was about, she was about 1,000 grams, 1,100 grams maybe, and she ate, and she ate every chance she got. She picked up weight so fast. And so after a few months in quarantine and me checking her out and double checking her out and making sure she's okay, she's doing great, I brought her into the collection. She was doing fine, she was clean, and so I was curious. She looked like a spider, but she looked like there was something else going on in there. I know everybody says that, but he didn't know, I didn't know. It definitely looked somewhat exanthic to me at times. I still have pictures to prove it, but it could have been she was just malnourished and she just looked really like she was thirsty or whatever the case may be. Either way, I have another Dinker that I held back from a couple seasons ago, and I wanted to prove that out. Maybe she's a recessive, maybe she's holding something, maybe I can figure it out. I don't know. But I took that opportunity and I bred my Dinker to her to see what I got out of it. At the very worst, it was a wasted project, and it took me time that I didn't know. But I'm still curious because I'm noticing in this clutch that a lot of the babies look like dad, and some of the it was 50-50, normals and spiders. But a lot of the normal babies look like dad, and I held him back because he looked weird. And the other 50% that are spiders that look like her, some of them don't look like, half of them look different than the others. So there's got to be something to it. It could be polygenics, it could be me looking at stuff too much, but whatever. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and show you this clutch. It's an LBX-22-1, first clutch of the season. In February I got this, and then I did some shorts about it and maybe did a live video about it, but I want to go in detail and look at this and see what they are. Maybe I keep some, maybe I just decide that if it is polygenic, it might not matter, but we'll see in the future. But yeah, let's show this clutch. Alright, so first I want to show mom and dad. This is mom. Okay. Now, in certain lighting, she does look like a normal spider. I don't see anything that shows that she may be a bumblebee or anything like that. But when I first got her, like I said, her color was way off. She was a lot lighter, and she looked like almost an Xanthic. So I thought maybe there's a possibility she might be Xanthic. She might also have a very light color because she might be het for hypo. I don't know. And yeah, this girl is a bomb feeder, crazy feeder. When it's feeding night, and I come in here and I turn the music on and get everybody ready, she's smashing her face against the tub looking for food. So she's awesome. Other than that, the moment I get her out, she's an absolute sweetheart. And she doesn't show any signs of wobble. But she's a spider, so it's in there. All right, let's show Dad. All right, and this is Dad. All right, I probably showed him a lot when he was younger. This guy's pattern looks crazy. Looks like when he was younger, it looked like he had orange dream because a lot of this stuff down here was really bright orange. But the pattern also suggests something in the like a cinnamon, or what do they call it? The 8-ball complex. So I thought there might be like het red Xanthic or something in there, just because he tends to have the black back look and also the very elongated, stretched out pattern towards the tail on both sides. So I was very, very curious as to what this guy might be. And now this guy came from a lesser to lesser pairing. And one of my lessers looks different than, well, both of my lessers look different from each other. That light is not trying to catch this, huh? There it is. You can see the stretched out pattern. It's got a pattern on the belly and everything. Like there's got to be something in there. It could be a granite gene maybe, I don't know. But I was willing to find out enough to try pairing them. Even the pattern on, it's just a lot. Yeah, I don't know. It's curiosity for me. So yeah, that's Mom and Dad. Let's go ahead and get the babies out. All right, so we're gonna start with the normals. Now this one is in shed, so it definitely looks crusty. It's got the ghost eyes and everything, the zombie mode. All right, but you notice from the Dad a lot of the elongated pattern and all that stuff, and the black backing. This baby's, he's a lot darker now because he's in shed, but there's a lot of the Cheerios on the back. He's not the only one. And some of them look more normal than others, but they all look a little bit less normal than normal. And even these guys have some pretty cool looking bellies. Some better than others. So yeah, this is the first one. This is the second one. This one is also in shed. Of course, everybody's in shed when I'm trying to do stuff, right? But you can start seeing the more stretched out patterns in some of these. The patterns are really, really funky. This one's got more of a funky belly. It's got sausage butts, it's gotta go. But yeah, even their color is a little different. They look really cinnamony, almost black pastelish sometimes. All right, that's 2. All right, so this is 3. And you start seeing on these, some of the head stamps are a little bit lighter. Oh, you just hit it. Hiding it. Oh, the head stamps, come on, baby. The head stamp's a little bit lighter, and now you can see more of the pattern freak out on these. All right. This one's got more of a wild belly. A lot more of the Cheerios on top. It definitely looks like there's something, at the very least, polygenic going on here. All right, that was 3. This is 4. And this one we're starting to see more of the elongation of the pattern. Stretching on both sides. This one's got a lot more pattern on the belly. More of that crazy stretching. This one has really good color and more of that weird head stamping. So there's got to be a het or something going on in there, because that looks like the het hypos that I created. Alright, this is 4. And this is 5. Alright. You can see more of the pattern here. More of the Cheerios on top. This one has a nice rich color. This one's probably closer to Dad when he was younger, where it has some of that stretched out pattern here. Really nice color at the bottom, like a rusty brown. A little bit of belly pattern, but nothing too much on these. And this one does not have that head stamp. But you can definitely see there's something following suit. Like I said, it's more than likely polygenics, but it's a really cool look to have all the Cheerios up top. I've seen other morphs like this. Grim and hieroglyphic and stuff like that, like a lot of these weird granite type look patterns and morphs. Yeah, this is 5 out of 5 normals, so we're gonna go into the spiders now. Alright, so this is one of the spiders that came out of that. Looks like a spider, nothing too crazy. Cool little head stamp. I like the way spiders have these head stamps. It almost looks like it might have like yellow belly or something in it, which is really hard to see. I don't know. They all look like spiders, but some of them look less like each other than the others. So far. Yeah. That's one spider. Alright, and this is 2. And so on this, I start seeing more of this zigzag type pattern. With lightning across the back, more of the typical what you want to see in a spider. And less of the dorsal striping like it has towards the front. And the color on this one is a lot different than the other one. It's a little lighter. And that's just because not all animals in the same morph are going to look the same. But I'm starting to lean towards there's a possibility there might be some type of het influence going on in some of these. So that's spider 2. Alright, and this is spider 3. It's got more high white. Starting to show a lot more, but this one has more of that typical dorsal pattern, and then towards the tail end it tries to do the zigzag pattern almost. Still cool head stand, very nice looking. Some little yellows and oranges and the highlights in the pattern. Yeah, this one definitely looks really nice, especially with that white coming up off the belly. Alright, that's 3. And this is 4. Alright, this one's a little more reduced. The pattern's a little bit different, but still typical for what spiders should look like. You can see the difference. This one also has some white speckling on the belly, like almost calico-ish, but that's what spider does. You can see how different the color is from the 4. Like I said, this could just be the difference between one snake and another. But I'm leaning towards there being something recessive in the background that if I can't figure out, it's just gonna get lost in here. And that might be okay. I just might not have the time and patience to work something like this. Especially the knowledge. I have no idea how to find het markers for certain things. But I'm slowly figuring it out. Either way, they look gorgeous. I know a lot of people don't really mess with this, and this is probably not the smartest pairing for me to do because there's spider involved and there's a dinker that I don't know if also involved. But yeah, some of these are really cool, like they have this pattern under the chin. Super cool. So yeah, that's spider number 4. So yeah, that's the clutch. That's the first clutch of the season that we had. And as you can see, some of you guys might not see anything. Sometimes I look at them and I don't see anything. Sometimes I look at them and think there's got to be something else going on in here. And at the very least, I can try to prove it out. I may or may not, depends on how much rack space I got. If I can tighten up the collection, make it so that I don't have a lot of overhead or too much to keep, then I might just work it and see what happens. You know, at the very least, keep one of the males, breed it back to one of the non-spider males, breed it back to mom, and see if she's holding anything recessive. And if not, then it is what it is. And then at least it was a cool little intellectual project that I did for myself, whether it proves out or not. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, if you like my content, like, subscribe, and notification bell and all that stuff just to keep track. I do have more stuff coming. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Smile big and hustle hard.